The man laughed as he pulled open his girlfriend's coat, revealing her graceful figure, and then patted her lower back. "Go ahead," he said. This scene left one wondering what exactly this couple was up to. As it turned out, the man had brought his best buddy along to go skiing but didn't want to pay for tickets. He had his eye on the ski resort's manager, a fat guy who had been single for 30 years, and planned to use special means to get in for free. Although the girl looked confused, she still followed her boyfriend's request and strode towards the fat guy with her lone legs. She first asked for a cigarette to break the ice, and then made up a lie, "My 2 girlfriends and I came to ski, but we forgot to bring our credit cards. Can you do us a favor?" The fat guy instantly imagined the scene of him meeting 3 beautiful women and agreed without hesitation. However, when the girl showed up with 2 men at the gondola, the fat guy's face instantly fell, but it was too late. The 3 had already gotten on the gondola and were gone. That night, the 3 had the nerve to return to the ski resort, hoping to sneak in one more run before closing. This time, the fat guy resolutely stopped them, warning that the resort was about to close. However, the main guy threatened the fat guy, saying that if he didn't let them in, he would report the fact that he had let them in earlier without permission. To keep his job, the fat guy had no choice but to compromise again and let the 3 on the gondola. But little did they know, this decision would become the stupidest one of their lives. Soon, it was time for the ski resort staff to change shifts. The fat guy told his colleague, "There are still 3 people up there. We can close up once they come down." The colleague waited patiently for a while and happened to see 3 people skiing down the slope. Thinking there was no one else left on the mountain, he pulled the power switch, shutting down the gondola system, and went home. Meanwhile, the 3 sitting in the gondola suddenly found that it had stopped moving. At first, they thought it was just a brief malfunction and didn't pay much attention. However, as the lights along the gondola line went out one by one and the entire ski resort was plunged into darkness, they realized something was wrong. To make matters worse, the girl remembered that today was Sunday, and this ski resort was only open on weekends. This meant that if they had really been forgotten, they would be stuck there for at least 5 whole days. In desperation, they yelled for help, but the only response was the bone-chilling wind and endless silence. As time passed, the cold gradually crept in. One of them couldn't hold it in any longer and simply relieved himself in the gondola. Just as they were about to freeze stiff, a light suddenly appeared in the distance. A snowplow slowly approached. The 3 excitedly shouted and waved their arms, even throwing down their goggles, helmets and skis to try to get the driver's attention. However, the blizzard drowned out their voices, and the driver had no idea there would be people in the gondola. He just focused on backing up and leaving. Watching their hope disappear before their eyes, the 3 completely broke down. In the middle of the night, the gondola was covered in icicles, and the cold wind mixed with hail stung their skin like needles. The girl's face was already frostbitten and had lost feeling. Her boyfriend held her tightly, trying to keep warm. To lighten the load, they took off their heavy ski gear but still couldn't fend off the bitter cold. In the end, the boyfriend decided to jump off the gondola to seek help. He took a deep breath, pushed open the safety bar, looked at the ground several stories below, and was filled with fear. But he had no other choice.